Oh boy. Do 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 do. It's 12:23 p.m. on the west coast of the United States. It's now 8:23 GMT, almost 8:24. And what the hell is this? This is my show. What time is it in Paris? 9:24 p.m. Ooh, look at that. New York City, 3:24 in the afternoon. But here on the west coast of the United States. Do, 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 do. Yes, that's the completely ripped off theme of Mornings with cBas. It's not my theme. I just fucking decided to play it because I felt like it. What's up, everybody? Good to be here with you. I'm way overdue. So I have like a million things to say I'm sorry for, as far as not like trying to keep you guys updated. I'm having friends on Facebook go, hey, cBas, did you die of your cancer? What happened in Seattle? Why didn't you post anything? And it's like, yeah, I was. There's a few reasons. I'm going to try and not be rambly cBas today. I'm going to try and actually get to the reasons why. Essentially, the reasons I haven't updated you sooner was because there really wasn't necessarily a ton of groundbreaking news and information from Seattle. Hold on. Let me just tie the old mane back here. I think I've actually just tied my hair to my microphone. Because I got these new Madonna microphones. I totally did. This is just great. Maybe this should just be the show, right? Maybe I shouldn't bother talking. Well, fuck the ponytail. This went much worse than I thought it was going to go. Hi, everybody. I have a lot of stuff to do. We're going to try and do an hour. I'm in really serious pain lately, and I just need to let you know that, because when I'm sitting up like this is when it hurts. If I'm lying in bed all day, which I don't like the idea of being the cancer guy who lies in bed all day, but actually that's kind of the only time it doesn't hurt. I've been toying with the idea of showing you the lumps. No, not I've been taking my lumps. No, but I do have a couple of things. You know what? I'll show them. I'll show where they are on the other side, so you can see where they are. Because where they are is like here, right here in my kind of side. But on the other side, they're much uglier on the other side, and I'm not going to put them on camera. It's because, well, there's no reason. I mean, it's kind of like as I've described it, it's like in a cartoon when somebody gets on the head with a thing, and it's this weird kind of one spot lump. And this is the kind of cancer that grows so goddamn fast that it's actually got a fever. If I touch the bump, where you can see, I mean, you can see, it's just like a little lump under the skin, kind of like this, only not under the shirt, it's under the skin. And when you touch it, it's hot, right? It's actually feverish because the cells are just reproducing like mad. That's why the radiation works on it, because the radiation interrupts cells that are in the process of developing. And the cells that are developing most, that are reproducing and duplicating the most, are these cancer cells. So when you're doing the chemo, to some degree, the same thing is happening. When you're doing the radiation, it's actually exactly that, where it's taking these cells. These cells have a process, right? Like the reproductive process. The genes do this, the cells do that, the chromosomes go like this. And it turns out when the chromosomes go like that, genetic duplication, cell division, there's a point in the process where the genes, the DNA, like untangle themselves and go to each side. The DNA is going to go to the new cell, and I guess I don't know. I took genetics. I flunked genetics in college, but it was like really the only class I remember actually flunking. And I did go back later and take it. So it's not like I only flunked genetics, but I do like thinking about that. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 spots on kind of between, if you put your arm down, it's like right there where your arm touches your side, right? Where your elbow touches your rib cage, kind of right in this area is where they are. There's a couple that are tiny that feel like little. They're tiny, they're sharp, they're poking up. And then there's one that's a little more like kind of almost golf ballish. It's a little bit gross. I will tell you, it's very much like the one I had, the first one I had in 2013 on my shoulder. This is the reason I'm not freaking out, is because, can I turn my microphone up a little bit? Is it too quiet? The reason I'm not freaking out is because I've actually been here before. Now it hurts. It sucks, but oddly, in this weird paradoxical way, if it hurts, that's kind of a sign that it's maybe not fatal, or I don't know. That might be bullshit, but I feel like one of the things a few doctors have tried to sort of impart to me is, the real danger comes from the ones that don't hurt, because they're the ones you don't see, the ones you don't notice, and the ones you don't get dealt with. It's not like the painful ones are not going to kill you, and the unpainful ones are going to kill you. It's just that you don't notice them, you don't get them worked on. And these ones are like a motherfucker. So I actually got some pain medication. And I want to talk about this for a minute because, now I'm on these goddamn opiates, right? The ones you see on the news, the ones that people get addicted to in a legitimate way, right? They're actually given a real prescription because they're in real pain from an accident or, some disease that they have, cancer. And then they start taking the pain medicine, and then they can't stop. Now, I have been doing my pain management up until now, really, with medical marijuana, because what I learned last year after my surgery was that these pills don't stop the pain. You ever use Ambisol? I've said this on this show before. Ambisol. I have one here somewhere, but it's gone. My little bottle of Ambisol, this brown liquid that you dab onto it. If you have a sore in your mouth or a toothache or something, you can dab some liquid onto it. And if you have this really sore spot, you dab this liquid, and it's like, the pain is interrupted. Like it is actually, there is a numbing agent in the Ambisol that takes the pain away. That to me is pain management, relief, right? The pain is gone. Now it's only for a few minutes. If you remember, do you remember when Chloraseptic worked? Chloraseptic does not work now, but back in the 70s and 80s, Chloraseptic worked, but it tasted like ass. And that's what I'm talking about. It was that kind of instant numbing. You can put Chloraseptic on a sore throat, and it's like, it stops hurting, right? Genius. These opiates that make you sleep through the pain, I became aware of this like almost instantly last year after my surgery, was this. I'm not in pain, right? I'm still in pain. I'm just sleeping through the pain. And that is not what I'm talking about. That is not what I want. If you're going to relieve the pain, Ambisol process, right? Like that's relieving pain. Knocking me out until I'm asleep and then the pain kind of goes away on its own. Or I don't even understand the mechanism of suggesting that as an option. Unless you're like having legs decapitated, because that's what when I have had surgery, they have me put to sleep unconscious because they're cutting on me and stuff like that. And I get that. But once I wake up, don't knock me out and sleep through the pain. That is not pain management. That is not pain relief. And that's part of the reason why I don't like these opiates, is because that's bullshit. That is not what I'm talking about. That is not the effect that I want. Now, it may be the effect that I am talking about. The effect that I want is not possible, right? It might be that I can't have an Ambisol style medicine on my pain here in my spot and rub it and have the pain go away. Now, what I've been doing, trying to do that, hey, look, it is right here. I don't know why I couldn't see it right in front of me. There is a cortisone thing I have over there, like cortisone ointment or cream, right? And I've been trying to put that on my owie spot to try and make the pain stop. It doesn't really do it. It's because this cortisone stuff is really weak. And this Ambisol stuff is like maximum strength. 20% benzocaine, right? Yeah, that'll do it. In fact, I've often thought about, and I have not done this yet, tell me if you think this would work, putting Ambisol on an external thing, not like this, but like putting Ambisol on my little lump here where it's hurting, pushing through the skin, and maybe that would work. I don't know. I think it seems to only work in the mouth. But pain management's kind of where I'm at lately as far as my daily struggles. Still working, still teaching English. Was at my oncologist yesterday after about a month of not seeing him because my insurance crapped out. And I got my new insurance. Now I'm on the Obamacare. We'll have to see what that turns into. And I have this scab, this little zit. Like I'm all freaked out about the bullshit, right? I don't like that I have zits on my skin. And I feel like I should say one of the things that people have been telling me is don't worry about how you look, right? Don't worry about it. You know, we love you anyway, and we're here for you. And I know that. I do know that, and I'm grateful. I'm still vain. I'm cBas, you know, like for God's sakes, you know what you're talking about here. Like this is not, you know, me and my hair to look beautiful and kind of it doesn't because it's I mean, for one thing, I was outside sweating. I was in my garden, like picking tomatoes and blueberries and stuff, just because I like doing that in the morning. But after it gets hot and when you're wearing long sleeves, it's like sweatiness, and now I'm all gross. All right, what else? I have a few things to say. This is the new medicine that I'm going to be on. Chemocare.com is where this came from. The drug is called Lartruvo. The non-commercial name, that's the commercial you would, that's the name you would see in the TV commercial, right? Lartruvo. Now, there are not commercials for Lartruvo that I know of. The generic name is Olaratumab. Olaratumab. All right. Now, Tumab, seriously? Like, this is the name of the drug? It's not like hydrocortisone or, you know what I'm saying? Drug names have a kind of chemical derivation sound to them, right? Hydrochloric, you know, chlorobromide, or the chemical names, the names that have parts of chemical elements in them. That's what I'm talking about. This Olaratumab shit, I don't understand how you get a name like that. It's like you're playing Boggle, and you're just the most random, least likely letters to make a word become this drug name, Olaratumab. All right. But what is it? Well, it is a medicine they give you when you're taking chemo that increases the effectiveness of the chemotherapy. And if for certain tumors and certain types of cancer with certain markers, it seems like it really does have an effect. Now, here's the hard part. And if I'm going to need help from my friends in any way, it's going to be about this part. Because what it sounds like is going away is the hair. It sounds like the hair is going away. I'm not going to tie my hair to my microphone again, but the doctor did say a second time yesterday that, yeah, this stuff does kind of make your hair fall out. So if there's any part of this that bothers me, dying or being in pain is not it. It's losing my hair. I really don't want to lose my hair. But, you know, if it means I don't die, I suppose. But here's the thing. The hair does come back. These side effects from the chemo are almost all reversible. And almost like right away, like the second you stop taking it, you know, your body starts healing. So a second chemo will be happening. It may be radiation is in my future for these things on my side, because I told the doctor yesterday, it's like, these have to go. I have to take these out. He's like, yeah, they kind of just come back. I'm like, I know, but I can't sleep. Like, seriously, I roll on my left side 800,000 times during the night, and every time I do, it wakes me up, right? It's like trying to roll onto a golf ball that's taped to your side. It's like fucking ow. And so that's what I'm doing. So if I'm grumpy, it's probably because I haven't been sleeping. And when I sit up like this is how I sit for my Chinese, my English classes in China. Who, by the way, when I was away for a week, those kids all kind of got together and did a get well thing. I got this letter from management, like a letter from the boss that I expected to feel like you have done something wrong or you were fired or something. And it was like, we just needed to let you know that your students, you know, or miss you and they want you to come back and stuff. And I was like, oh, that's super cool. You know, I'm not really crying. Not crying, I just have allergies. But, you know, that was how sweet was that? How spirit lifting was that to hear that my students, it was only a week I was gone when I was in Seattle, just because I just, you know, I felt like it was easier to just kind of make that week completely off. I just took the whole week off. And boy, my students had not seen me gone yet since I started working here. My students turn out to really love me. And so when it comes down to it, hey, look, it's the thing from Balance of Terror. Not Balance of Terror. What was the episode? Early, when's... Was it Balance of Terror? No, there's an episode of the original Star Trek where there's a cube, and it's all different colors, and it's getting closer and closer to the Enterprise, and then, you know, It's like episode 1 or 2 or something from the broadcast sequence. Like it's one of the earliest episodes. It's going to bug the hell out of me. But we're not going to talk about Star Trek today. What I want to talk about, since it's Tuesday, is Game Show Tuesday. That's right. I saw an episode of the $25,000 Pyramid today that absolutely blew my mind because they just tanked it. And before I do anything else, I just want to watch it because that was the reason I kind of got inspired. Every so often, I have to just embrace what inspires me to come on the air. And today it was the Pyramid because it's Tuesday. And because it's Game Show Tuesday. I have lots of stuff to talk about. I'm going to try and keep it short because the doctor's update was basically that I'm getting a second medicine when the chemo resumes that is supposed to really radically increase the effectiveness of the chemo. So cross your fingers for that. Radiation for the things on my side is probably in my future. Hopefully surgery to get rid of the goddamn golf ball. This is like my second golf ball, or third, depending on when you start counting. But I don't want to talk about any of the serious stuff. I want to talk only about this, and it's only the 1 minute, so we're only going to do this for a minute, but it's the game show $25,000 Pyramid. Here it is. I am screen sharing. Now, here it is. I think you're going to hear it okay. I don't really have a way of testing it, but here we go. Here we go. That's the first subject, but I'm going to rewind just a bit.
Raise your hands, Anita. Concentrate now for $10,000. Here's your first subject. Go.
Wing, dressing, neck.
Parts of a chicken. Parts of a turkey.
Yes. I know I was married to John Kennedy, but now I
What Jackie Onassis would say.
Pacific, Central,
Area codes.
Pacific, Central, not.
I guess if there's because of the time he's trying to show there's probably here still on one hand. But on the other hand, it's just a big jump. Area codes? Wow, okay. So, there's like he's like day one. Let's go back to the red one. Hopefully the audio is through.
There. I'm talking and the audio is coming through. As I was saying, really? I know it's really kind of lame on one hand to be criticizing a guy on a game show from 35 years ago. But on the other hand, Pacific, Mountain, Eastern, Central, area codes, is that what he said? Fucking idiot. All right, well, let's let it continue. Let's watch to the end because that's only the first of the blunders. And if you listen to that, I'm just going to pause it again because he almost said it. Listen to what he says. He's like, times it.
Pacific, Central,
Area codes.
Central, Mountain.
Times, they should have given him that. Okay, here we go. Famous Brothers. Ritz Brothers. Marx Brothers. Ringling Brothers. Circuses. Kennedys. It's Marx Brothers. Like, he's all guessing. Hotels. Words with a double E. Okay. Seed. Things you feed to. It's just a meltdown and a half. Don't say a thing. He's going to talk him through it here. The Ringling Brothers. That's what gave him it. That's what got him to say it.
When you said Ritz, there's no Ritz Brothers. He was thinking of a hotel. And he couldn't get off there. Real easy for me to sit over there. What was the station?
Oh, he saw it. He said times. And then there are times when, like there have been episodes where they kind of do 60% of the answer and get it. And I'm real sensitive to that because that's kind of one of the focuses on this show is when the judges get it wrong. There have been one or two very rare times on the Dick Clark Pyramid where the judges actually buzzed a bad clue, or you know, like it was real close to the wire when the 0 hit and the buzzer time ran out. And they blurted out the answer kind of as the buzzer was sounding. There have been one or two times when the judges let it happen, and like rightfully so. And then there have been other times when it sounded real close to me and they should have and they didn't. So like I don't even know. But that was just one of the biggest kind of meltdowns on the winner's circle of the pyramid I've seen in a long time. I think I've even seen it before. But yeah, I kind of feel like doing another one just because that's so much fun for me. I have talked on this show before, probably like 2 years ago, because that's how long I've been doing this, that I get an enormous rush. I don't give a crap about horse racing. I look at people watching a horse race, screaming and cheering, and I want to punch them. I look at people watching a quarterback running in a football game, screaming, losing their mind, go, go, go! And I think that you fucking people are the stupidest goddamn idiots in the world. And I have no. I mean, you know, that's just kind of me being me. But on top of that, I feel like I didn't have a comprehension of what overcomes these idiots watching a horse running to scream out loud. You don't know that horse. I mean, you probably don't even have any money on it. Like, what the fuck do you care? How are you screaming? Like, that's a really hard thing over many years for me to wrap my brain around. And then I watch one 60-second thing in the $25,000 pyramid, and it's like, go, 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 go. You know, I get crazy. It's my own falling on my sword here. I'm trying to say I do understand, or I have been shown that, in fact, it's just a matter of whether you're into it, if you're excited by it, if you're paying attention to it, and in a way, if you understand what's going on. Because I don't understand what's going on in a horse race. I couldn't give a crap. And for the people to see people giving a crap when I can tell you they don't have money on this, they don't know the horse, they don't know the person, they don't give a shit. They just want this horse to win just because. I don't get that. This is me trying to understand the human equation, and I don't. But I want to watch another one, just because that's so much damn fun for me. There's another one in this. Oh, there's one coming up. Let's see what happens at the end here. Here we go. Beautiful. Okay, this is the same episode. Same guy made it, but now it's Charlie Siebert as his celebrity partner. So this may be really good.
You've done really well. Very good. You guys are trying for $25,000. All right, here we go. For $25,000, here's your first subject. A birthday.
Ooh. Okay, I'm pausing it. I'm pausing it. Because I can see right now. This is going to be just because of the way he put the first couple of clues out. Kinds of parties, birthday, anniversary. Is that what he said? Like that's almost instantly going to lead them in the wrong direction. I feel like, but whatever. I probably should not have stopped it. I probably should have just let it play. Fucking shut up, cBas. I hear you cry. Let's watch it. I'm going to try and not talk. I think they're already going to lose. Oh, he already got it. See, I'm already wrong. Good, eating utensils.
Things on the 4th of July.
Bang. Things on the 4th of July.
Well, today I had a really very wonderful day, and I will write more about it tomorrow.
Oh, he said right.
The rifle, the bayonet, the things a soldier uses. Yes. Dormitories.
Female dormitories rated.
Parties, gambling parties, things that are illegal, things that are secluded, illegal gambling houses of prostitution.
So I'm going to stop again. We're clearly not going to see it. Panty. Yeah, time ran out. He couldn't quite make that one happen. You can see it's just what words do you say? What would have gotten it? What would have gotten it? And I don't even know, like, Raid. He was, and here's the thing, Charlie Siebert is one of the amazing players on that show. If you watch for years as I have, you'll start to see it's actually amazing how good he is at this show. And he's got this incredible vocabulary, and he's just got this incredible sort of mind that knows how to make the person say what's on the screen without blurting it out. He does not make that mistake very often that we just saw him make, where he said, "Right, I will write more tomorrow in my diary." It was right there. I would have predicted, if you had let me predict what would have happened, I would have predicted A, they would have gotten the money, and B, that he wouldn't have lost one of those clues by giving an invalid, illegal clue. I've talked before about what constitutes an illegal clue on this show, because my dad, back in a million years ago when we were watching this, one of the things when the winner's circle was things that are right, R-I-G-H-T, right, as in correct or proper. And this wasn't something that happened on the show. I'm watching next to my dad, and he had seen the first round, right, when you can say just about anything you want. And my dad's clue for that one was not right, but, oh no, the thing on the board was things that are wrong, not things that are right, things that are wrong. And my dad wanted to say not right, but wrong. That's a clue you can get away with if it's during the first part of the game, where it's you and a celebrity and them and a celebrity, and they're at the two orange tables, you know, during the regular game. When you're in the winner's circle, the bonus game, the lightning round, you can't do certain things. You can only give a list, and you know there's categories. And so if it's things that are wrong, you have to say only a list of things that are wrong. If you get things that are rated, you can. I mean, you can't really say panty raid. You can't really say panties, I don't think. And he was trying to tap dance around it. He didn't get buzzed because he didn't give an improper clue, but he was sort of tap dancing around it, and he did earlier. The other really good player, if you ever see a rerun of the $25,000 Pyramid with Marquis Post, do not take your eyes off of it because it's really going to be good. Marquis Post, the blonde girl, Christine Sullivan from Night Court, simply amazing at the Pyramid. And I took notice of that when I saw TV Guide. The people who write for TV Guide in like the 80s said, hey, if you ever watch $25,000 Pyramid, stay tuned if you got Marquis Post on there because she's going to rock it. And she does. She's really good. What else was I going to talk about here? We've been on about 20, 30 minutes. Sarcoma, game shows, pickup lines. Okay, this is where we'll probably stop. A friend of mine posted. I have one more thing about fake news we'll say at the end, but pickup lines. Hey, baby. Hey, baby. Or what's your sign? That's the other thing. That's like a dead giveaway from way long ago, right? Hey, baby, what's your sign? Fucking what's your sign? Like, sorry I'm doing this on the air, but like, I'm looking at myself. It bugs me. But yeah, what's your sign? I don't even know. Because here's the other thing. That is so cliche that even the even the anti-answers, right? Even the answers you give to shut down that question are a cliche. Well, what's your sign? Stop. It was like in a Zima commercial because all of the S words were said with a Z. What's your sign? Stop. I remember these things from my childhood and like early adulthood. But let's talk about pickup lines because what was it? My friend had said she was in a library. Library? I thought that was the bathroom for homeless people. No, actually still they have them. And a friend of mine like saw some other guy come up to a girl at the computers in the library and say something. What was it? You're very striking, or you know, some of those things you see happen. It's just like went to the library yesterday. Fedora, who interrupted the woman working at the computer across from me to introduce herself, then again to tell her she looked nice, then again to ask where she was from originally. I believe she was of Japanese descent. Points to the woman for shutting him all the way down politely after overcoming her original startled response. I was ready to tell him to keep his creep to himself before he fled. So yeah, what was it? I guess that was it. It's just like, hey, where are you from? You look nice, you know. And it was essentially really gross, lame pickup line. Now I don't pick up people because I'm too shy, and you know, I'm pretty sure that everybody hates me kind of whenever I'm just out and about in public. I have the lowest self-esteem of anybody on the planet. So it's likely I'll end up alone, you know, as a spinster for however long this cancer doesn't kill me. But yeah, pickup lines. My question was, can we gay boys compliment a girl on something like boots? Because that's kind of my thing. There's women who wear these certain items of clothing that I'm incredibly jealous of. I'm not hitting on any girls, believe you me, and you know that. But like when it comes down to a woman wearing really awesome pair of boots, and this is also true of the skinny pants, skinny jeans, tights, leggings thing. Although in this day and age, there are now like men wearing skinny jeans to a certain degree. But like yeah, I saw a woman in California wearing these pair of boots. I was like, I couldn't even control myself. I'm like, ah, those are the coolest boots I've ever seen. Ah, you know, it was like really came out explosive. I could not hold it back, kind of a thing. And I'm, you know, like I said, I have low self-esteem. I'm worried about everybody hating me before I've opened my mouth. So when I open my mouth, and you know, it's not like I'm trying to get a date with this girl. It's not like I want anything from her at all. I just really wish I had her boots, and I wish if I had them, I could wear them. And you know, sometimes gay guys can get away with that, sometimes they can't. But yeah, it's pretty gross. And I'm glad. I like what my friend said. Girls just want a computer in peace. Keep your dick out of it. Now, I see that, and I agree with that 150%. You know, I wonder how much of that goes on in a place like the library, where it's kind of public computer area, right? Like it's for everybody. And when you open it up, it's like a person on the radio I know, a friend of mine once said, the difference between a public event that is free, a concert, say, that is free, and a concert that costs $1 is a big difference, because, you know, it really has a way of keeping the riffraff away, even $1. And when you're at the library, I feel like it's kind of, you know, when I make that Modern Family, that's the line I stole from Modern Family, oh, it's the bathroom for homeless people. I mean, yeah. It's because the line came from the fact that there's so much riffraff at the kind of library computer area. And not just the public library, even like university libraries. I've seen that for years. Not that I hang out in university libraries. Can we talk for a minute about U2 and Depeche Mode? Have you seen what they look like? Because I'm going to show you a couple of pictures. A friend of mine posted a picture. I think he went to a YouTube concert, or a U2, not YouTube, a YouTube concert, and here's what U2 looks like now. U2 today. Yeah, okay. Something like that, right? We all know U2, for crying out loud. This is probably like a really modern picture. 30th anniversary reissue of Joshua Tree. Okay, that's a good picture to talk about this. Now, if I do the same thing and I type in Depeche Mode today, like if Andy Fletcher and Martin Gore and Dave Gahan, like look at okay, I'm just gonna go back one. There's the pictures. Now they have their own unique look. It's not as though they don't look different, but just something about the sunglasses and the leather jackets and, you know, whatever. Look at, for one thing, look at Andy Fletcher right there. Yummy. But I mean, that's 40 years ago. Okay, there's Depeche Mode. There's U2. Tell me I'm not at least okay, excused for a moment, making that mistake, because goddamn. The idea being, I'm actually going to a Depeche Mode concert later in this year with my old best friend from a million years ago, Patrick, who invited me. And he put a picture up when he went to the U2 concert. And it's just like got the pictures of the U2 guys. And I'm like, did I miss the Depeche Mode concert? Like, what the fuck happened? I can't believe what, you're there? What? I came out of my skin. I was so upset with myself for having like sort of missed it or let it go by or something, especially now. I'm in a very much, with the cancer, I'm in a very much live for today, carpe diem kind of mentality. And it was weird that for a second I'm like, God, they look a lot alike. You know what I'm saying? And I feel bad because I mean, I like U2, but I've never really been a crazy. But I've been a crazy Depeche Mode fan. Like I was even. It's not like they have a term for people who are concert junkies for Depeche Mode, but like there was a year. When was it? 96, 97, 98, something like that. The Songs of Faith and Devotion tour, so maybe earlier, like 93, 94, 95. And I went to the concert, I think 6 times, because they did 2 legs, like 2 loops of the concert. And I went to the one in Phoenix twice, went to the one in LA, Ontario twice at the Forum. And then, I don't know, there was a third one I went to twice. Like I went to this one concert 6 times just because they did it twice, and I went to 3 different cities each time. And then, by the way, it's kind of my single favorite concert experience of all my life, right? Like the Songs of Faith and Devotion tour, the original one is just like kind of musically it for me, you know, and for whatever reason, thinking back to Depeche Mode really takes me back. And I'm gonna go. It's in August. I figured it out. I didn't look up when I saw U2. I'm like, I missed the Depeche Mode concert, and it's still 2 months away. And I think it may or may not be true that I'm going not in Denver, which was the original plan, but in Chicago. My buddy hit me up. He's like, "Would you have any interest in going to the same concert but in Chicago?" I'm like, I don't really see why not. He wants to show me the city. I have been to Chicago, but you mean that's, you know, 94 now, so I should go see Chicago again, and definitely I should go see Depeche Mode again. And I don't, you know, I don't want to be Debbie Downer. I really don't. It bothers me to even kind of come on here talking about cancer because I feel like I want people to watch, and I don't want people to be sad, and I don't want people to pity me, and I don't want, you know, I don't want sympathy really. I just want to, I don't know, I kind of want to be able to talk about it in a way where I feel like nobody's listening, and that's why I do it here. I've said that before. And I know there are people listening. I can see there's viewers live right now. But anyway, that's the update. Let me go back to the thing I put on Facebook just because you know, I really did feel bad that I had not been updating people as sort of I wished. And, you know, the fact that some time really did go by and I didn't post, there was a couple of reasons. And I'll read this. Did I miss your full account of what the Seattle doctor said? And I said, no, sorry for the delay. You guys deserve to see this more soon than the, you know, more recently after the appointment. What I said was the reason I didn't post right away was a few reasons. A, with all the crowdfunding buildup, the drum roll and all of that, I felt like the volume or mass or heft of what the doctor had to say was somehow short of the buildup, especially when people had donated over $2,000 for me to go see that doctor, and what he said was kind of a sheet of paper, you know, oh, we'll try this. Hey, how about lunch? You know, it's like that commercial on TV with the dental monitor. Ooh, lunch, yes, I'll go have lunch. You know, it's just like completely changing the subject. So I felt a little, not cheated, like the doctor was amazing. And the appointment was worth the money. And there, you know, is a new idea. But let's talk about real quick what the doctor said. He said that there is this other medicine, the 2-MAB stuff, that will go with my chemo and probably will increase the effectiveness. Immunotherapy is also potentially an option, and I'm not sure this is actually different from the immunotherapy, this new medicine. But he did seem to think that was an option. My friend Kate said, "Oh, that's really good news." And the other thing, and it's stupid because I mentioned this a few minutes ago, but the lumps and kind of masses under my side, outside my rib cage, under my skin, hurt. And they're keeping me from sleeping. And sometimes they hurt really bad because they're growing really fast and they're pushing through the skin. And they, like the other day, they started bleeding a little bit. And, you know, it's hot. Sometimes it feels like somebody's just jabbing me with a stun gun. Just ow, you know, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, and then it's gone. So to take big drugs like OxyContin or Codone or whatever the one I have now, it hardly seems worth it. Right? Because I mean, it doesn't even seem worth taking an Advil for that. Because, like, seriously, I don't know when it's coming, and to take a pill, it doesn't prevent those kind of zaps of electrical pain. It doesn't really make them doesn't do anything to them. Doesn't stop them from happening. It doesn't make them less severe. So to take a pill for that seems really stupid. But on the other hand, it does kind of, there's a baseline pain thing I'm fighting now. So these heftier drugs are kind of carrying the weight. Now, I do feel like if I had surgery, got these things cut off, then the growth would, you know, it would be able to at least heal up with that, and I wouldn't have as much pain. So that, I feel like, is the course of action I really want to take. The doctors seem to think that was okay on one hand, but two problems. A, they will come back, which I kind of knew. I didn't think that wasn't, cut these out and we're done. No. I knew we were going to come back. But more importantly, there's one that's in a spot you can't get to. One of them is right up against my skinny rib cage, under my armpit, under the skin, and like it's up against there, right? So to get rid of it, to remove a tumor, you kind of have to cut way around outside of it. And if this is butted up against there, I mean, we're going to have to try and scrape it off, and there ain't no way. So, but, surgery's not the only thing. There's radiation, there's drugs. Drugs. So, I mean, it's not the end of the world. Obviously, I'm not, I'm not too depressed about it overall. I got a million other things. I'm too busy, I'm too busy to be depressed. I'm busy with my 2 jobs and my small business and my garden. And, I have doctor's appointments up the yin yang over the next 2 weeks, and I'm moving. By the way, that's the other thing people don't know is I'm moving to my happy place. Just because my life I want to live where I want to live. Where literally just walking out the door makes me happy. And I have a place. Do you have a place where you can just walk out the door to the outside and be like, oh, I'm so happy to be here. I just want to be here and just look around. I just want to walk around and look around all day and fucking do nothing else. And I have that place. It's where I went to college. And, I will not lie. I need to be knee deep in freshman college boys. I don't need to hit on them. I don't need to talk to them. I don't need them to like me. I just need to walk around amongst them. Just being amongst those hot college boys just makes me happy and like just alive. I just feel alive. And it's truly, I mean, look at me. You can see, I think you can see just from me talking about it that going to Tempe is exactly what I need. Even though my parents have been a support system for me, it's been a challenge for everybody involved. So I've been trying to be their support system a little bit too, but ultimately it's time to go. And the other thing about that is I'm going to be at the Mayo Clinic in Phoenix. Am I kind of transitioning with my insurance changing and with all this other stuff? Mayo Clinic was kind of where the other insurance company had wanted me to go anyway, and so that seems logical, right? I love my current doctors, and it's not like I'm over them, but it makes sense, If you paint the picture, right, it makes sense. So that's it. Moving is on the horizon. Surgery potentially on the horizon. More chemo, more radiation. Wow, I can't even get through all of them on one hand. And then there's the irregular stuff, the blood tests and the lab work, and the the poking and the prodding, and yada yada yada. And I'm still fighting the insurance bullshit. But I did want to say that the guy in Seattle was worth the money, and enormous gratitude for everybody who donated. Some people donated $10. Some people donated hundreds. I kind of blinked and it happened. That's how fast it was, because I didn't realize how much. I mean, I knew my friends had told me, set up a crowdfunding thing so I can help. That's what I heard from a few people, and that's why I did it. I didn't expect it to happen so fast, but it did. And that was kind of another thing I feel like I should say thank you for. Not just thank you for donating. Thank you for donating like that. Like, the clock was ticking and you guys listened. So it was beautiful. And, whether or not it'll save my life, nobody knows, because that was the other thing. It was entirely possible that money will be spent. I'll go see the doctor and kind of nothing could happen. That's a very real possible outcome. And I don't love it, but it's true. So, I'm trying not to get discouraged. I don't love the damn OxyContin drugs, the opiates, but I'm taking them sparingly. I'm taking them as I hurt, and I'm kind of putting up with the pain to a certain degree, just because I can do certain things physically. If I grab my right shoulder with my left hand, I can make my armpit stop hurting, because it pushes whatever it's pushing up against, place that's non-painful down here in my armpit. So I can do some things. I do think exercise is probably something I want to try and do more of here in Southern Arizona. And if I move to Tempe, we're talking 110 as far as daytime temperatures. But if I go at 7 in the morning after my English classes in China, hey, that would work. And again, part of it is not being, what am I trying to say? Part of it is just that it boosts my spirit to be there, right? Just being there is like, I feel free. I feel happy. I'm just, and I don't think you could put a value or a price on that. In fact, I've always felt lucky that Tempe did that to me, period. I don't know how many people in the world have a place they can just step out and literally kind of feel like Dorothy stepping into the color of the Wizard of Oz, just, oh, you're out of the woods, you're out of the blah, 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 blah. Like, that's kind of what it feels like when I go outdoors in Tempe, Arizona, to Arizona State University. And I used to think it was because of all the hot boys, but I think it's more than that. Something about that place just makes me feel alive. And how many of us have that, So I guess I'll shut up. I don't know. I've kind of said everything I want to say. I've spent an hour, and I'm playing with this came from space, by the way. This is a meteorite, a cut meteorite that I got from the Tucson Gem and Mineral Show. It's only about a centimeter by a centimeter by a centimeter, but it's metallic and it's heavy. And the other one I have that's similar is like this. Now, this is not a meteorite. This is tungsten, or wolfram, if you know the chemical elements. And yeah, this is about 5 pounds. Like, this is extremely heavy. It's a block of tungsten, and I kind of put them together. I don't know why. Do you know they have those pens, like a pen that you can engrave your name on, say, a bicycle in metal? You can engrave your name in the metal with the pen. The tip of those engraver pens is tungsten. So you don't want to drop this on your lap or have it scrape against your skin, because it will slice you the fuck open like a blade. But I have used this actually to open a few of the medical marijuana gummy bear packets, because they're sealed, like, to prevent children from ever getting near medical marijuana gummy bears. Like, you have to have a blowtorch to get into these packets of gummy bears. But this, I can kind of and open it. This is meant to be like a desk ornament, kind of like a paperweight. But it's like sharp and heavy and cool and like perfectly cubical. I'm just fascinated by the geometry of it. All right, I'll shut up. Thank you guys for watching. I know you guys are with me, and I want you to know that, seriously, with the people I have to talk to in my real life, physical, non-virtual, non-online computer life, like the people who I have out there in the real world are 2 or 3 max. And I mean, actually, if you want, I'm actually saying that's on the virtual world. I have 2 or 3 really good close friends I can open up to online. I have even fewer people than that I can go talk to in real life. Like, I can't go have coffee with someone really where I am. That's another reason why I feel like the big city, Tempe, Phoenix, is good for me, because I can't date anybody in Tucson. There's nobody here for me to like date or even meet. And it might not get me a husband in Tempe, but there's a new crop of freshman boys every 6 months up there, so I could have some good times anyway. And I'm not against that. Fuck getting married. I'll just have a little adventure, one a semester for Lord only knows how much longer. Thank you for supporting me. If you have called me or if you have posted a comment, I want you to know it gets seen, and it gets cried over. Like, you guys think of me at all, that you guys give any time or effort or mental energy to me at all, is like just the most special thing. I want you to know how special it makes me feel, because I'm lucky to have people who love me. I'm lucky to have people who donated. In a way, I'm sorry. A friend of mine on Facebook was like, there's so many crowdfunding things for so many people who need actual help, you know, medically and otherwise. It's, you know, they're kind of tapped. You know, my friends are like, I'm tapped. I have so many friends needing medical help on crowdfunding sites that I'm tapped out. I can't donate right now. I don't have any extra money. And for one thing, if that was you in my case, oh, please understand that's okay. That anybody donated at all blew my mind. But I am now hoping to, if I can keep the jobs up, sort of keep things rolling forward, I want to pay it forward, you know? I want to help try and get another person to a specialist who might save their life, because holy crap, it was done for me. All right, have a great week, everybody. Game Show Tuesday will return next week, and maybe we'll have a more full rendition of it. Until then, have a great week.